Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Commentary is Magic's spoiler stream on May 21st. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
I'm Emperor Bugle.
Big Cheese will not be joining us until possibly later, but I am Aracat.
I am Leo Silver.
And I am Tonkapo.
And we've got quite a selection of cards to be talking about today. It's been a few weeks since we've had a chance to do this.
Yes, this is our first spoiler wrap-up for a while. It's almost like we had a con last weekend.
It's like we had a con last weekend.
Con?
Ah.
I mean, Best Princess was teasing us for a while, getting us up to 2 spoilers, but not quite to the necessary 3.
1.5.
It's true, it was 1.5. It still remains as, well, sort of. Visually it remains as a half. But we've seen some cool stuff. We saw...
Some people wanted us to do a spoiler stream at Everfree.
That would have been madness.
That would have been interesting.
The mistake is most of us would have been on planes.
Yes! Pegasopolis!
Raw.
Rah.
It was a fun time, though, and we'll definitely get into our thoughts and experiences at Everfree Northwest towards the end of this stream. But at the beginning, since there have been some new spoiled cards, I suppose we should probably talk about those.
It sounds like a decent idea, I guess.
Do we have any
It'll
announcements?
never work.
Do we have any announcements we'd like to make before we dive right on in?
What are announcements?
Nope. that sounds like a no to me.
That is a resounding no. Excellent. All right, Ken, why don't you kick us off here and tell us what we're dealing with first, and then I believe, Bugle, you'll be talking about this card, correct?
It depends.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes? Okay, fine. What, planning in advance is like too much effort or something.
Well,
Okay,
wait, which one are we doing first?
So as per
Yours.
usual, here's the slide on card ratings. We'll wait and bicker between ourselves for a couple moments as you read this, because I'm not going to read this time. Go watch one of the old streams or something, I don't know.
So odds we have another 1 or 5?
90% of the time it works every time.
You mean in the set? Or
No, I
in
mean-
the 7?
I mean, in this 7.
Do mains count as being able to be 5s?
Sure.
Then I think so.
Okay.
All right. Well, with
That's
that, let's...
That's a bold claim.
All right. Well,
I mean, most mains that are competitive wind up being 5s because they define their deck,
No.
like Applejack.
no.
Well,
Like
doesn't
Apple
count.
Bloom.
No. Okay, with that, let's talk about the aforementioned 5 or so Bugle says. Thorax, the changed changeling, the boosted side.
Yeah, just the boosted side.
we do not have visual on the start side yet, but we do know 2 facts about the start side, and we'll talk about those in a moment. For now, though, Thorax the Changed Changeling is a 3 power on his boosted side, 5 home limit, main character in yellow, that has, this card has +1 power for each of your friends with 2 or less printed power.
Which is a completely built around me card.
Yes, it is.
This is true in this case. This main, if this is going to be a 5, it's actually going to be a 5, because this is what makes the deck work.
So if this is going to be a 5, it's going to be a 5. Well put.
There's also the whole start side that we don't know, so...
Well,
I
we
could
know
have
it. We just don't have a image
No,
for
we
it.
actually know it. Just
We
kidding.
do.
Rob said so.
We know that the start side has a home limit, though we don't know what it is. And we know that Thorax's flip requirement or flip condition is when you confront this card's problem.
And we know he's a traitor to the Hive.
It's not
So-
nice.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping that one of our songs is a changeling can change, and I hope it can affect mains, so that you can say, I will play a changeling can change on Thorax the Changed Changeling.
That's terrible. And hopefully it'll work.
No, it'll work his next card.
So it is.
Ha! I get it.
Oh, come on. We're not even trying here. This is terrible.
Low hanging fruit. Okay, so seriously though, Thorax is relatively reminiscent of another main that we've seen before, who is Mod Pi.
Yes.
In that the main has a modifier that amounts to some persistent amount of power based on some other condition that can be altered over the course of the game. And it is important to note that these are not power counters. This is
Right.
simply a modifier.
It is an ability, so Limestone can turn them both off.
Yes, she can.
Though
she can't stop. Though she can't stop Thorax from flipping anymore.
No,
That's
which
true.
is good. But the interesting thing about Thorax compared to Mod is Thorax doesn't have a limit. Like Mod caps out at 7. Period. Thorax could theoretically get to infinity.
This is a good point.
Say Critter Swarm.
Someone said Critter Swarm.
I heard Critter Swarm.
Who says
Snack
snacks?
critter.
Snack.
Snack.
There's going to be a lot of snacks.
So Ponka, do you wish that you had Thorax at Everfree in that one game?
Which game are you talking about?
The one where you had 35 snacks?
Yes, and sealed. It would have been great. I would absolutely love this card in sealed.
Where you gave your opponent's main negative 45 power.
It's worth it.
So the interesting thing here is, Bugle, you mentioned that Mod has that cap that's set, where she can't really go above 7 because there's only 4 card types that exist in the game right now.
Well, that can be in discard piles.
Right, that can be in discard piles. Thorax is interesting because, sure, you can have a bunch of characters. You have a bunch of friends that are in play. But at the end of your turn, like, if you're doing a DFO, which I'm assuming you will be if you've got a lot of these friends spread across different problems, he only has a home limit of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But we have ways to cheat around that. Specifically, the best method of doing Critter Swarm is, of course, using critters. And there's quite a few cards that exist, and by quite a few, I mean 2, that allow you to say that your critter friends don't count against your home limit.
One of them makes critters.
Yeah, how about that?
Well, and not only does she make critters, she also has 2 or less printed power.
How about that?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
There's more.
Yeah, printed power is really nice with this card, too, because sometimes if you're doing the swarm tactics and you don't want to just bank on a bunch of, 1-power characters and you'd like to get a little more efficient, you can run cards like Conductor's Baton or Fast Food or other things like that. Or Flamingo.
Yep, and Thorax don't care.
Another interesting thing is that this works really well with the Dilemma Additional Revolution, because you confront that, you put at least 3 critter tokens on the field. Now Thorax has 3 more power, which might make it such that Thorax can confront the other problem with that, because now it has
which is
3
also
plus
an
power.
Industrial Revolution.
Which then triggers more, which then the critters. And then you confront Anxious Animals, which adds another critter token, and then...
And at some point in here, Pinky runs out of snacks to play.
Don't worry, I'm buying 100 more.
Yeah, he's
so
buying 100 because he ran out at Everfree.
At
I
some
ran out of
point,
planes too.
you're going to run out of snacks to play.
Leo, thoughts on this card?
It makes me think of the deck that we discussed in our last stream. In pairing, like you said, the characters the characters, the friends that allow us to get rid of our home limit for friends, and then it makes me think of pairing it again with that new Fluttershy and with animal allies, all in one.
So, someone in stream, Chaotic Spark, just brought up what I wanted to bring up. Yellow Farm, Thorax Farm.
Well,
That was my other thought just now.
to be fair, this has farming written all over it. You look at this and you go, hey, I'd like 10 plus power main. Yes? Let me just go over here and beat up some troublemakers. All of the troublemakers.
Yeah. So you have a troublemaker, and you've let's say you're down by 3 or whatever, right? You play Rise and Shine for 1 AT. That puts 2 friends into play, and then that gives Thorax plus 2 power. Now you have 4 more power, and that's fantastic.
And now you're up 1.
Yeah.
It seems very good.
Also, maybe this might be a stretch, admittedly, but we do have a friend in orange, Holder's Boulder, that prevents your tokens from being frightened.
I mean, maybe. Could also run boots in here. I'll take any excuse to run boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try and force orange yellow again. Yeah. Put him in a
yellow,
box. Guess what? Guess what? Yellow has a lot of really good resource dismissal. Yeah, he ain't staying in that box.
Yeah, yellow has beavers, which is arguably the best single target removal in the game, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair to call that.
Yeah, for resources. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could make an argument for Rest in Pieces being better because it hits multiple, but for just hitting one, beavers is best, I think.
Also, Rest in Peace is a little bit more niche because, at least in the current meta, there aren't a ton of resources that are super threatening.
Don't tell that to Sokol.
Yeah.
Well, Sokol is Sokol.
Wow.
Well said, sir.
Wow.
I mean, this is a farming deck that will actually care about study session.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, yeah, if you're
Because
trying to
friends come
immediately,
in.
yeah.
But wouldn't it be a wise strategy to not attempt to confront with this if you are doing yellow farming? Just
Well,
leave
yeah, but you're
all of your
immediately
critters
putting-
at the problems.
You're immediately putting critters into play
Right.
to challenge troublemakers. If they're exhausted,
They
No.
don't.
Yes.
They don't
they
count
don't
for all that
contribute.
they could. Yes.
yeah.
Yes, we're
Right.
sorry, Skidder. You also run resources.
But my thought was when we replay a troublemaker to that problem, it frightens all those critters. It might be beneficial to have the critters chilling at another problem.
It might. It depends on where you need to put them.
Unless you're running like Starlight Glimmer, who doesn't frighten and in fact boosts
Right,
your critters.
yes. So Starlight Glimmer is actually going to be really funny because she's normally not been a fan of
Farming.
of farming. She has been an aggro troublemaker, believe it or not.
Yep.
Well, my other thought with yellow farming is because you can play the non-frightening, the epics that are non-villain.
we have 6. Well, we have 3 of them now, so you can run up to 9 non-frightening epics.
And we also have the yellow card, I forget what it is, redeemed or something, that will pull a troublemaker from our discard pile back into play. And we can keep replaying those Nightmare Stars and not frightening things.
Sure. Well, anyway, the point is there's a lot of fun things that can happen with Thorax as a main that you would want to build around.
He's still a traitor.
So I do have one last thing I want to say. Frightened friends still have printed power.
Yes, they do.
So you cannot... Thorax can still feed on the love of his scared friends. Unless they're tokens.
And the one little bit that I'd like to add here is, ironically, Thorax's weakness, especially in farming, since he can get out of cardboard box really efficiently, is probably opposing Snex.
Yes.
Sneck.
With that being said, scores 0 through 5.
Like I'm saying, I think this is possibly a 5.
I would consider it a 4 myself. It's great, but I wouldn't say it's game-breaking great.
Well, sure, it might not be game-breaking, but if there is a deck around Thorax, Thorax is what makes it work. Like Applejack or like Mod.
That's fair.
Like, it is the defining factor.
I might disagree with that slightly, only to say that if you're talking farming, yes, I agree. But I think for a lot of players that are going to be running him as yellow aggro, the swarm strategy and using all the friends and the massive token generation and potentially power boosting effects are going to be just as relevant with Thorax as they were with Fluttershy Friend to Animals. And for that, I'm also going to go with Ponga's level. I'm going to give him a 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Going with a 4.
I'm going to say 5, banking on the like you said, the farming strategy being a very viable thing.
So yeah, I'm going to put an asterisk on this that says, yes, in the farming deck, this is a 5. And only in the farming deck is this a 5, just by its very nature. Mod is a 5 in the same sense. But in general, 4.
Sure. Next card.
Next card.
Next
yes.
card. Oh, come on. There we go. It's going to work. I know it's going to work. It's
Welcome
going to
to
work
all
out
of the
just
Pinkie
fine.
Pie.
Hey,
Pinkie Pie abducts all of the other colors.
I'm trying to sing a song here, just like Pinkie Pie, and everyone's ignoring me.
Sign Spinner Pinkie. I love Sign Spinner Pinkie.
Along with Best Weapon.
Yes. So yeah, So, speaking of the art, this is the promo art. Rob has said that Rarity gets to be on the normal art. In fact, Rob said that Rarity generously donated the promo to Pinky because she's so generous.
Yes, generosity. Because
Generosity.
White is known for being generous and not banishing all of your stuff.
And not taxing you.
Right. No. So, Bugle, tell us about this card.
So we've got a 2-cost, 3 white rec, 5 power event that is a song. This is our second monocolor song. And as all songs that have come before it, it has 3 options. So option 1 is banish a friend with 3 or more power. That seems pretty solid. That puts it like a main phase food fight for white with 2 other options. The second option is you need -2 wild to confront problems until the end of the turn, which is all problems. So if you have 3 problems, that's like 2 for 6 power, assuming you're confronting them all. Otherwise, you might just get 4 power out of it, or even just 2 if you're only confronting 1. In which case, you probably don't want to play it for that, but in a pinch, it's an option. And then our third option is something that I know Cheese has said he's wanted for a while, is put a Troublemaker from your discard pile into play face up. I think he wanted it from like hand or deck, but still, anything that can put Troublemakers into play face up is pretty solid. So yeah, I think all 3 of these modes are really good. Like, what was our other song? Was it the pink one? Yeah,
Yes.
Pinky's Present.
Yeah. Like, I thought that was a fine problem or song, but I think It's Gonna Work is gonna blow that out of the water. Like, this is just a very, very solid song.
It's fair. All the modes are quite good. Banishing a friend with 3 or more power for 2 action tokens gives us 2 cards across all the sets that can banish friends in any power range, which is nice for 2 action tokens.
Right, yeah. If you combine this with Not on the List from Canterlot Knights, that basically gives you universal range.
The Troublemaker from your discard pile into play face up. It's definitely interesting in some white control decks, and I think we may see some people trying that because Rarity, the new main Rarity, has definitely inspired some creative brews. I'm really interested in the you need -2 to confront problems until the end of the turn, especially in a dual color deck. Primarily a dual color deck that may be focusing on running multiple dilemmas, with several of those dilemmas being Industrial Revolution. Because that just sounds completely hilarious to me.
Yellow-white critter aggro. I mean, we've been trying to make that work for a while. Maybe now it's going to work?
It's going to work.
So
I swear it's going to work.
If you were to somehow stack 3 of these and make it -6 to confront, and now the problem has 0 to confront, do you still need a character there?
Yes, we've been over this with the Element of Generosity resource.
Yeah.
Because that's been possible for quite some time.
So Chaotic Sparks is bringing up some interesting questions. We're seeing cards now that are really increasing in versatility in terms of how they're able to be used. The Song Cycle, of course, gave us some of these modal ones, but so did the Epiphany Cycle back in the day. And, we have a lot of choices. And I believe that overall, it's better for a game to grow more complex than it is for it to grow less complex. Simply because as more and more cards are added to the card pool, it becomes more and more difficult to be able to predict exactly what sort of things you'd be going up against and exactly what sort of tools a deck would be running. And so in order for certain archetypes like Control to be viable, they need to be able to maximize their slots in the deck so that they can adapt to as many situations as possible. So cards like It's Gonna Work, cards like Pinky's Song, Pinky's Present.
The Vote.
Right, the Vote.
Yeah.
All of those are very good inclusions in decks focused around those particular colors because it can effectively help open up slots in your deck and allow you to try more complex strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. And I particularly like it's going to work because it looks good to both aggro and control. Because the aggro is going to like the -2 to confront, not so much the troublemaker, and the control is going to the other way around. And both are going to look at Banish a Friend with 3 or more power and go, you know what? I really don't want that Zipper Wheel there anymore.
No, Zippo is the main target of this thing, of course.
Yep.
Hi,
Well,
Zippo.
That
Or Zippo.
limestone.
I mean, there's a lot of things that this will be effective on.
Well, that's true. Thunder Lane, Zippo. But yeah, basically all those cards that you hate, yeah, this will take care of that.
Well, the big ones.
It's interesting.
Won't hit the small ones, but you can use Opal for those, or not on the list.
That's true. Shall we do card ratings?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think this is a very solid 4.
No disagreements here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
agree
with
with
that.
4.
This
Yeah,
is
I think so.
this is
My
a good,
God, is that a unanimous ruling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.
Okay, put
Yeah.
the policy into play.
Uh,
No,
Put the what into play?
never mind.
yes, the policy as
okay.
a
Yes.
secret
We
changeling.
already passed the changeling.
Yes, we did.
No,
passed the changeling.
we passed the traitor. He's not a changeling anymore.
Sure, he's Neon Bambi.
Yeah, pretty much.
As a reminder to everyone, though, even when we may agree on these cards, these are simply our opinions. The way these cards end up working out in constructed play or even in limited play once the set has released may very well be different, and your experience may vary.
Along with your mileage. Next card.
Next card, yes. Follow Pinky's arrow to the next card.
Follow Pinky's arrow to the next card. Okay, fine. It's not following. There we go. Buckball Championship.
All right.
More Pinky.
Exactly. See, the first thing we notice about this card, of course, it features the Buckball champion of the world, Pinkie Pie.
Like,
And she's
what
taking
happened
over.
to Fluttershy? Like,
She
I'm so
was
glad
Fluttershy
they cropped her out.
She's covered under the text.
She's not on
She's
the
hanging
list.
out back there. So, Buckball Championship is the first new dilemma that we've seen spoiled so far. Couple of things have been different from the other 6 that we've seen. I mean, I guess the ability itself, when the problem is solved, score a point. And we all know when a problem is solved, regardless of who actually won and initiated the DFO, the owner of the card will get that point, which is kind of cool if you're looking for just an easy point to throw it down strategically. Looking at the card itself, it flips for 5 power, which is 1 more than the previous dilemmas. We have
Except for Industrial Revolution.
no Industrial Revolution. Was it 5? It was 5. You're right. You're right. Except for Industrial Revolution. Okay, wrong on that one. But the requirement, the cost is 2. Before we only saw 2 other dilemmas that cost 2, so this is on the expensive side for a dilemma. With the 3 color rec, which we haven't seen requirement that high yet. They've all been 2 color rec previously. Other notable things about the card, it is got 4 to confront. We haven't had one that low. And this thing, to me, thinking strategically, is just Screaming Thunderlane. That I imagine him bouncing across and not even needing a +1 counter once he gets to this. Other than that, I mean, I think the high cost, comparatively, will be somewhat of a deterrent for playing it. But other than that, I think it speaks for itself. I've seen some of the people online commenting that this is asking for Pinkie Pie Remix Master to sit here, and then when it's time for the problem to be removed after solving, to just exhaust it.
That's pretty funny.
That's good. That's good.
And keep that in problem. And as people know, Pinkie Pie Remix Master is 4 powered, so she would confront it by herself.
Isn't she 3? Is she a 4/4/4?
No, she's a 4/4. Or she's a, I don't remember her cost, but hold on, I actually have it right here somewhere. But she is 4 power, that is for certain.
She is 3
Yeah,
rec.
4-3.
4-3-4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those are my thoughts on it. I do think Remix Master would be hilarious with this card. I tried to abuse Invasion of the Changelings with her. That was quite a bit harder because it took 2 Remix Masters at it. What else do people think about this?
Luna.
Luna.
Yeah, a lot of Luna.
I mean, it's funny because when you're talking about the hasty friends that Luna is likely to be running, she's equally capable of confronting T-Rex Reign of Terror, just like confronting Buckball Championship. Sure. But more dilemmas is always good. And there's also the weird thing you can do because Luna can be so efficient in terms of triggering DFOs for minimal amounts of action tokens, that the 1 extra AT required to play this dilemma over playing something like T-Rex Reign of Terror may not end up mattering in the long term. And you can even do very strange things if your opponent's problems confront requirements are low enough, where you just have 2 extra AT sitting around and say, I'll just pay 2 AT to score a point.
Oh, okay. My thoughts on this, Sweetie Belle. The main.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think
Sweetie Belle will be fun with this too.
I'm going to solve this, recover it from my discard, and next turn I'll just move my 4-power friend up again. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
wait,
Yeah.
which Sweetie Belle?
The
Sweetie
main.
Belle main.
Oh yeah.
Because
Of
it's a
course.
resource when it's not in play.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
If there is one thing I could wish about this card, it would be that Pinkie Pie still had her significantly better hairstyle. The poof balls.
Agreed.
Yes.
100%.
I love those poof balls.
At least it looks like she has the jersey on, but
Is this,
art-wise, this side note, is this a screenshot from the show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So one
Skitter,
other important thing we need to note though is
Skitter's,
Simpson Snail's Problem Solvers does not solve this problem.
Skitter's is just mad because it's like, Sweetie.
every time a new resource comes out that will ever hit the discard pile, just assume it's going to be in Skitter's deck. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do bring up a good point, though, and that is mildly irksome that the problem solvers don't actually solve
Yeah.
problems.
Replacing a problem is not the same thing as solving a problem.
It makes sense because Sips and Snails were never really good at solving problems. So
Boom.
I mean-
it's ironically named.
I mean, Snails ended up pretty good at solving the
At
buckball
Buckball,
problem.
yeah, right?
Yeah,
No, they solve problems just fine. They solve the lack of problems.
On the
by
other hand,
creating more problems.
my opponent's unreasonable demands is a problem for me.
That's fair.
So,
Card ratings.
3.
3-5?
I'm gonna go with 3-5. I think it's gonna see more play in certain types of aggressive decks than others. So I don't think this is gonna be a universal thing like, hey, you're playing blue, so you're playing 3 Night Gliders, or hey, you're playing blue
This-
that's not blazingly fast, so you're also playing Thunderlane.
Yeah, this isn't Terex level stupid, but this is still pretty good.
yeah, it's also it's cost 2, so it's a little bit more
I
investment
mean, if
that you
this
put
cost
into it.
1, I would give it a
It-
4, but it would be kind of silly at 1.
If this cost 1, this would potentially
might-
be 5. Yeah.
It might be, yeah.
I would consider it 4.5 if it was 1. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'm not sure I quite put it at 5 because while it's really good, it's not quite
Yeah.
at 5 level.
It's difficult to break a card that only gives you 1 additional point and only during the score phase.
That's true. I mean,
If
fair.
that's how you base 5 ratings on, then yes.
If this cost 1, I would cry bloody murder.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It costs 2, so it's a 3-5.
Yeah.
in my
Leo.
book.
Yeah, T-Rex was... I won't even open the discussion. I'm going to go ahead and go with the solid 3.5. The 0.5 is because Pinkie Pie is amazing.
I just
Fair
want
enough.
Fluttershy back in the crop. So,
Eh.
but
And
yeah,
Brayburn.
thus ends Pinkie Pie taking over all of the non-pink colors, at least for now.
In Chaotix, there is a key difference here between Back in Black and Buckball Championship. Even though both of their effects will trigger upon problem face-offs, Back in Black does require you to win. It requires you to win by a substantially larger margin, in that it requires you to win by 5 or more. And this allows blue decks or aggressive decks running this problem to have a method of getting around troublemakers or other problem lockdown.
Yeah.
This is strictly better than Back in Black in basically every possible way.
Well, unless you need 2 blue power.
Unless you need a thing named Rainbow Dash.
Or
That's
anything named Rainbow Dash.
Where's that Rainbow Dash tribal deck?
We have 2 of those.
No, we have an actual Rainbow Dash tribal deck.
There is actually a Rainbow Dash tribal deck.
Anyway,
What?
next card.
Surprisingly, it's not bad. Next card. We are now into the Everfree spoilers. So let's lead this off with Teacup.
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 This
You know
is
what
an
you
official spoiler.
Teacup.
Teacup.
You know what you need?
Teacup.
A teacup.
A spoiler.
A spoiler. Yeah,
It's a
mostly
teak-
teacups, though.
So, Aura, tell us about this card.
All right. Teacup. 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 Teacup.
Teacup. Teacup. Teacup. Teacup. Teacup.
You know what you need?
Wait.
A teacup.
Cup?
Yes. See, it's right there.
Teapot.
No, wrong.
Cup.
Hey, alright, I need some container to hold liquid of some sort.
You know what you
What would I
need?
use?
A teacup. Okay, we're done with this.
All right.
On to the actual spoiler.
well-
Sunburst Royal Full Sitter.
I was going to say, when we linked this at Rob, he said, do we need a teacup poodle critter?
It has been threatened.
Please.
Please.
I think
Please.
just about everyone would like a teacup poodle critter.
Rob, please.
All
Okay.
right.
Sunburst.
Sunburst.
Alright, so
Polka.
Sunburst. This card just screams Zippo all over it. Alright, so going into it, first of all, let's look at all of its abilities. Calming 2, pretty good. Stick it in a problem, Noi aggro. Pretty much what yellow does all the time. The main draw of this card is that immediate exhaust gain 1 AT, because we need more factory jacks in our life.
You do need more
yes.
factory jacks in my life.
Yep. We got now we had orange, purple. Now we got orange, yellow. Factory Jack does silly things.
Do you mean purple, yellow?
Yeah, purple. Yeah. Sorry. So the important part about this over Paper Twilight is that it's an immediate, so you can do this during your opponent's turn as well, which is rather useful for threatening to gain AT and then doing something. So it looks like you have 0 AT, but you really don't have 0 AT, and they have to also work around that for things that like Peewee that makes you lose an action token because you don't really care about that because you just do it at the end of their turn.
Gets
There's
around
also-
stuff like Philomena.
Yep. And there's also when an opponent confronts this card's problem, they lose an action token. So unless they have a bunch of action tokens banked up, they better not be planning to do face-off things because they're not going to be using them if you have this your problem or their problem or wherever you're confronting. Which means they'll have less answers to deal with the shenanigans that you do when you try to move all the characters away. So, comparing this to Paper Twilight in a sense, obviously this has more power, so you can actually use it for confronting problems. You can also, it also gives you a good rec because it's a 3/1/1. So if you have like Trading Traditions, you can play this really early and have
Turn
an AT
2.
gainer. Just like Factory Jack. It
Not
does cost-
quite.
I mean, you can play this turn 1 if you get creative enough.
Sure.
Or if you go second.
yeah,
I think you're losing out on resources at that point, though.
You run second chance, you go second, you banish Nurse Redheart from your hand, you play Sunburst, whatever.
it's not quite Factory Jack level of stupid, but it's still really good. The fact that it costs 3 is what hurts it a little bit, but when you got 3 abilities, you gotta make up for it somewhere.
To be fair, the fact that this costs 3 is about the only reason that this is an immediate ban bait, because if this costed 2, just yikes.
Yeah.
If this goes to so many snacks at Gen Con.
Snack.
Snack.
Yeah, unfortunately, this does not cost 2, but we can work with it with the fact that calming 2 is very relevant when aggro is a thing. And
Yeah, so... Yeah, calming too. So we've not seen a lot of calming in the past, but that's because most things with calming just weren't very good outside of it. We had Smooze with calming 2 and eccentric 2,
you got
and Celestia was fine, the one that
And Fluttershy
bounced
Man.
things.
If
Don't
you could
forget
afford to
about
put
Bear.
Bear into
Yeah.
play. That thing
Oh,
was
like
great.
Green Bear.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
if you can get that
berry
into play,
hugs.
sure.
It's amazing and limited.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
the thing is
Yeah.
great and limited. But yeah, I think Sunburst has some relevant abilities aside from just calming. Plus two
Well,
colors.
The action token is kind of relevant.
That's
a little bit.
kind of only a little bit relevant, just a bit.
So one of my go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my thoughts is in comparing this to Twilight in the Zippo deck. Does one run this side by side with it and have a number of AT gainers, or is it a replacement?
It's definitely not a replacement because this costs 3, and you need the Meticulous in Zippo.
It's also not a replacement because you can play Paper Twilight turn 2 after you just move your main, flip it with Ancient Research, play it, and then you have multiple 18 games by turn 3. So it's definitely not a replacement.
But you might run like maybe 2. I don't think you'd run a full 3, but you might run 2.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think you'd run 2 in it. It's a little bit hard to decide what cards to cut for this, but I feel like the Zippo deck in general will need a rather big overhaul once the new set comes out.
So I want to talk about this last ability a little bit, because that's probably the most difficult to use well, I think.
The Echoes of Guidance Counselor.
Yeah. So because it's when an opponent confronts this card's problem, that means that's score phase, and they've had their entire main phase to use all of their action tokens. So you're usually not going to get them to lose action tokens, because what they're going to do is they're going to use those action tokens to draw instead. But if that happens, they're not banking. So you're still actually getting benefit out of this, because yes, one action token for one card is not bad, but you're removing options, and that's still valuable.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about it's not that really that it's actually going to make them lose action tokens that often. It's more that you're removing their options to respond to whatever you do on your turn.
It's interesting.
Or if they do want to do that, then you actually do hit an action token, and you're great.
Yeah. So it's good in both respects.
So yeah,
you make them
it is
lose
win-win.
options, or you make them lose an action token. So it's very valuable.
It's interesting because both of the purple-yellow cards that we've seen so far were clearly designed to be played at the problem. When typically
You've seen another purple-yellow card?
Wait, what's the one where you put it behind a trouble when they start a face-off and then a critter pops out?
What?
That's yellow-white.
Yellow-white.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's also
Sorry.
not location-based. It is showy, but it's not location-based.
Right. Yeah.
I guess the implication with showy is that you would have it behind a problem. I think that's what I was thinking.
Sure. No, makes sense. We have seen some synergies for Zippo. Apparently, someone at Enterplay really likes critters being one of the harshest methods of control, and it is kind of adorable when you just throw snakes at your opponents.
Snack.
Nightmare Moon will never forget.
Snack.
I still have nightmares over this.
Why does it have to be snacks?
Card rating?
The snack.
I'd give this a snack out of 5.
Snack out of 5.
Okay, being serious, I'd give this probably a 4, maybe a 3.5, but I think 4 is a little bit better.
I think 4 is actually correct, because if you're in purple-yellow, you probably just want to run a few of these. And if you're not in purple-yellow, then you're not running these. So
that is correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good point. I can't see a purple-yellow deck that would not want to run this card.
Maybe not a full set, but I do think purple-yellow wants at least 1 or 2 of these. Yeah.
I can't really argue against that either. That's
okay.
By definition,
sure.
it's a 4.
Chaotic Spark. The snack deck is a Zipperwill control deck. It is purple, yellow, white. It uses the rare from High Magic when a critter friend, when one of your critter friends enters play at her location, you may move an opposing friend.
Hey, Bugle, we have this really cool thing.
No?
PC? Called Pony Card?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have this
when
really
one of
cool
your
thing.
critters enters play here, you may move an opposing character.
Yes. So
go look that up on the Reddit. There's lots of posts about the deck list, and I'm pretty sure Bugle's written a primer.
I did write a primer, and then Ponka, after his precious pink-white deck got taken away from him by a rules change, has adapted this.
No, you're just salty about Nightmare Moon at Everfree last year.
Oh, yeah, I'm also salty about that, but that's a different story.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd agree. I think, Leo, you also agree 4?
Yeah, I'm a little deterred by the price, just because I have horror flashbacks of trying to put ATO into play and it not working until later. But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this card does more things in the meantime.
yes, agreed.
And also lets you keep your AT past the phase.
Right.
This is very true.
Not that
No.
that ever mattered.
It did, on occasion.
Only when your
Not all.
opponent hadn't read the rules or some nonsense, because, yeah.
It mattered in Purple Pile at Babscon. I'm just saying.
Eh.
Anyway.
So
next card.
I'm going to go ahead and join the herd and say 4.
Segue.
Again with the pun.
All
All right.
great, because our next card is...
Our next card is, in fact, Join the Herd. Hey, look, it's that traitor again.
You seem so mad over this.
I
Why
am
do
mad
that,
over
though?
this. Because he blew up our
So-
queen's house.
Well, Twilight had her house blown up, and everyone laughed about it, and we made a card immortalizing it. So I don't know what else you want. Join the Herd is an immediate event that costs 2 AT and has a 5 power on flip. And it says, immediate, choose a color. One of your characters has +2 power and has that color until the end of the turn. So it's pretty clear that this is kind of a combination of Makeover and the Fixer events that were present in the Premier block. Except this is much easier to understand than what those events did, and it
Yes.
also lasts longer, and it's playable on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
And it has a higher flip average. But it
So-
costs 1 more AT.
I would like to propose a name for this because it has immediate.
I'm listening.
It's clearly the instant makeover.
I mean, sure. Instant makeover.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I actually really like this card. It is expensive for color fixing. Normally, most decks that are running color fixing are not going to want to spend 2 action tokens to do this, because if you're fixing into another color, you're usually wanting to play something immediately, and that requires having extra action tokens left to do so.
Right.
But
If you're paying 2, you're typically playing a friend instead.
right. However, because this card also gives a power boost, you can do some interesting things with this, especially since that power boost lasts until the end of the turn. And I hate to keep going back to this deck, but those dilemma-focused decks, especially ones that may be using the new Fluttershy main, get really funny with this card when you can pay 2 AT to give your Fluttershy +2 power, and then also fix into one of your other dilemmas and exhaust her to have her contribute her power towards confronting that dilemma.
Yes. Join the herd, Fluttershy, play Tyrix Rain, because you just got your blue wreck.
Sure.
Go score phase. I will exhaust Fluttershy choosing Tyrix Rain. What are they going to do to stop that? Nothing. I don't
mean,
think
they
there's
can-
a way.
They can bail out your main.
No, she's already been exhausted. You exhausted her. Well, okay, they would have to do that before score phase, but yes.
Sure. So-
Immediate, start crying.
I mean, so that's one option. However, the fact that this also serves as power boosting on its own, ignoring the color element of it, is interesting, because it means that post early game, once you've actually gotten your secondary or tertiary colors online, you can use this as a face-off trick. Admittedly, an expensive one, but if you've got the AT to spare for it, sure, why not? That's +2 power.
Mhm.
In worst case scenario, it's a 2 power hasty friend in giant quotes, except it's much more difficult to deal with if you're putting it on your main character. And a high flip average is also very nice. You know, we saw Makeover have a flip of 6. We saw Singing Barrel have a flip of 4. This is right in the middle.
Splitting the difference.
I like it. Also, it has clearly the best character on it. He is so
You're-
great, and
You're just trolling me at this point. Also, quit talking about Spike.
I think Spike's a pretty good character. Look at those flyers of Spike. Is he? I didn't even realize that was Spike on those flyers until right now.
Well, Spike is basically the biggest celebrity.
I mean, it's true. Anyone else? Any thoughts on this card?
Trader.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid card. I don't think many decks want it, but I think the decks that do want it are very happy to have it.
Yeah, this
I
is.
feel like the fact that it's cost 2 kind of makes it like over makeover sometimes, because like you're not. Yes, it has a lot of other abilities, but you know.
Yeah, this is a 3.
The perfectionist in me loves this card. It drove me frustration to no end when we didn't have the orange-blue fixer and we didn't have the white-purple fixer. This solves any needs that people may have for those fixers.
Except it's twice the cost.
Except it is, well, twice the cost. Or I could say it's 1 AT cost and makes it sound significantly less, a little. The other thing that I like about this card is that it enables Princess Luna Dreamcatcher to actually be effective early game. You pay your 3 AT, you flip it, and you can use it to tutor for this card, allowing you turn 3 to get into your second color. One of the things about that main, for people that don't happen to have an image of it right in front of you, is it has 2 power both sides, whether it's flipped or
no, it has one power on the first.
One part on this power on the start side, but the flip side is 2 power, unlike every other main. So it was an issue.
Well, there's Discord.
That's pretty brewy, I got to admit.
So in order to get into second colors, well, I've tried to build around this main, and that was the biggest problem. It was a frustration thing. I only got 2 AT, and all these really cool events that I can play with require me 3 purple. And so now we can get into those events. We can get into friends that will allow us to play those events later on. And I'm sure, I mean, this is just my thoughts. I'm sure there's other uses, like you say.
That's really expensive.
Yeah. I'd like to see this in a tricolor pink, purple, white control deck build using Rainbow Shine to reduce the cost of it.
Double Rainbow Shine?
All the way across the sky.
Yeah. You're out meaning me again.
You're welcome.
Songify it.
Anyway, ratings?
3.
3.
Yeah, it's a 3.
I'm gonna go a little bit less than 2.5.
Yeah, I was gonna go 2.5 as well. It's all right, but I don't think it'll be. I feel like it'll make some decks, but it's not gonna make a lot of decks just because it costs 2.
Somewhere in there. Yeah, you're probably right. It's more like a 2.5. Anchoring.
I'm not bending. It's 3. I said it.
Okay.
Do you think this replaces Makeover in Zippo, Ponka?
No.
No?
Cost 2. I mean, there's not enough things that I feel like.
Yeah, but it gives you the plus power that you need.
It does give you the plus power that you need, but the Zippo doesn't really need the plus power for a lot of things.
Well, unless
honestly.
she's unflipped because Snips and Snails made you sad.
No, but even then, Zippo doesn't care because she's just going to run Royal Guidance.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's running the Royal Guidances.
No,
like,
this doesn't go. This doesn't go in Zippo.
Extra protection.
No.
I think I do agree though, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's cost 2, it's just not. There's no reason to really be running this. We have enough entry as it is that we can to get there, and in almost all games, your main will be flipped. And if it's not, then you If you think you're gonna possibly get Snips and Snails, you aggressively mulligan for an owl and deal with it that way.
Pro tip: you're gonna get Snips and Snails a lot.
You're gonna get Snips and Snails.
Pink is back, yo.
Jess is back.
Pink has always been back.
Don't call
Pink
it
comes
back.
and
Pink's
goes.
been here for years.
Black is the new pink.
I'm taking out
That's
suckers, putting
It's
ponies in
okay.
fear.
I believe we have one last ever free card.
One last ever free card.
Is it Teacup again?
No, it's not
Teacup.
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 Can we go
Snack.
back to that one though? I'd like to see Teacup again.
Teacup.
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 Teacup. You know what you need?
Teacup. That's not teacup.
It's not Teacup there. That's. Oh, shut up.
Okay, there we go.
Just give it a minute. The stream takes a bit.
There.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. It's in here somewhere. You know what you need?
A
A
Discord.
4-power pink friend that costs 7 and has redeem called Discord Standing Up. Teacup.
So okay,
That's
so
not teacup.
it's not on the card here, but we do know what redeem does now.
Okay. Oh, let's see. So, as a lot of people have been speculating, redeem is you may retire a card with the same title as this, meaning the name Discord, not Discord Standing Up, to reduce the cost of this card by 3. So, this is actually a 4-power, 4-cost, 4-pink rec friend when you've got a Discord friend or troublemaker on the field that you don't need anymore. Oh, and by the way, it's hasty, so, hey, it's a darn shame you're going to beat up that Discord trouble... Nope. Gone.
Centered channel.
Everyone say hi to Feathers.
Hi,
Feathers.
Hi to Feathers.
Hi to
Wow.
Feathers. Hey,
Nice one, Bugle.
Feathers, do you want to talk about Discord standing up?
Who? Oh, the card?
Yes.
yes, the card.
Hang on.
And the character.
I need to go look at what it actually is first. I can't remember. Hang on.
If you load the stream, you can see it there.
Well, where's the stream?
Oh,
One
Feathers.
second.
I just came on. Leave
The
me alone.
commentary.
Wow.
Oh.
The magic is revealed.
Are you on the... check the Slack. You can find the link there.
I'm literally just in mumble only. Hang
Oh,
on.
good,
Wow,
good job, Feathers.
We can post it here, too.
No, it's okay.
Well done.
There.
Golf clap.
Okay, yep,
It's
golf clap.
loading. Yeah,
Hey,
just-
chat, what's the website where Feathers can go to watch our live stream right now?
Definitely not commentary is magic.
Have you guys ever wanted to commentate on Commentary is Magic or see or particularly watch us commentate? You should go to www.twitch.tv/commentaryismagic.
Is
Alright, shut up,
magic?
Pinky.
That
gonna talk about the
place where
card.
you are right now, unless you're in the future on YouTube.
Hello, future.
Okay, so I
Hi,
should just
future.
switch casting to the mumble window so we can watch this whole make complete idiots out of ourselves.
Yes, this is clearly the best.
Okay, I found it.
There
Alright.
we go.
Here.
Go
I'm
for it,
looking at
Feathers.
Wow, it costs 7.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
It's got
it
redeem.
has 7 cost written on the card.
It does, but
That's
you're
more
never gonna
accurate.
play that for 7.
Do you remember what redeem does?
Vaguely. Refresh me.
You may retire a friend or troublemaker with the same title, which is the top part of a name, to reduce this card's cost by 3.
Yes. So,
Oops, sorry about
And you
that.
can only do that once.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. It's, I don't think that it would be... I'm trying to think of a situation in which you'd take out a card from one of the current decks that use the color pink and... Like, what would you do with this in its place? I'm not sure that it's the most optimal thing to use over literally anything else that's already in a pink control deck.
So I feel like you're correct in that you wouldn't replace this in like any current deck. What possibly could happen, depending on what cards we have, is maybe a new architect could be born out of this.
Yeah, it's hard to say because we don't know what else is 100% of what else is in the set.
Right.
But that's my perspective, I think, is that I would have a hard time fitting it in somewhere. I think it's just really situational. And I know most of the cards that are in pink control decks are situational, but this one even more so, in my opinion.
So, Discord is an interesting card, and I agree with Ponka in that the current decks that are running pink removal aren't really going to want to trade something out for this. But if you look deep enough, you can find some kind of wacky synergies that exist with this card. My personal favorite is in a face-off when you're playing up against either an aggro deck or a deck running multiple copies of the same type of character. You can, especially like the theoretical Thorax farming deck that runs a bunch of critter tokens. You could flip a Discord Spirit of Chaos, the pink friend. I believe that's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, Spirit
Yes.
of Chaos. The other, so the 4-cost 7 power. No, he's 3 cost, isn't he? Yeah, he's
He's
No, he's 3 costs.
3
He's
costs.
Put him directly into play with his Chaos effect, giving you enough pink requirement on his own to retire him to play Discord standing up for 4 and completely kill every one of your dismiss every one of your opponent's critter tokens. Or
'Cause
whatever
Leo-
else you want.
What if half of the critter tokens are snakes and the other half are like cats?
That's cool. They are cat snakes, and they all go away.
Yep.
Cat snack.
No.
Snack.
No.
Snack.
Teacup snack.
Puppies.
Wait. What?
Kitties. Snacks.
Snacks on
yes,
planes.
yes.
So,
Sorry. That aside, one interesting note is that while you could play redeeming qualities on this, you would not get the effect of the card because it says when you play this card instead of when it enters play.
sad face.
Unfortunately, you can't
Just
do
proof that
shenanigans.
Discord has no redeeming qualities.
Bugle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't do shenanigans with Portal here. So, purple is sad.
Yeah, and I'm sad too. I guess I'm purple.
Wow.
Are you pancake?
I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
No.
So, interestingly
I'm
enough,
pink.
he's unique, though the unique doesn't matter too much because, I mean, he's 4 power, but basically, if you need to play a second one of him, I think you just retire the first one.
Sure.
Yep.
So it's I don't know.
Yeah,
It's an oddball. Very much like Discord, the character. His card is kind of odd.
It's going to be really difficult to use well. That being said, there might be some weird Discord tribal deck using the other hasty Discord. Now that we have 2, I can't just call him dubious intent.
Yes.
Yes. It's the other one.
I actually do have another use for this card. It's super tech. You use it as an inclusion against the mirror match in a pile matchup.
To dismiss
Nice.
all of their vinyls.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
That's actually a good reason to be playing with this.
Do you
There you go. Found it.
That was
just
yeah.
spend 7 because you're not running any other Discords.
Sure.
I actually had a thought about that, but I'm gonna wait until later before talking about it.
What about the pile thing?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Mine- We'll do it now.
Yeah, do it now.
Transitioning to
do it
Glimmer.
now.
Are we talking about Glimmer now? Are we gonna open that
No,
door?
not
Is
yet.
that-
Not yet.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna wait.
Card ratings. 2.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I'm a little more optimistic with this card, but that just might be because I like 4 power pink Discord, so I'm gonna go 2/5.
1.5.
I'm sadly gonna have to give this a 2 because while it's kind of nice, it's also really niche.
Yeah, this is some. It's that one weird trick that aggro hates.
7 cost is a lot. 4 cost and a card in play is also a lot, unless you are flipping Spirit of Chaos.
2 is good. 2. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's just I'm just saying that 2 is the good choice.
It is an accurate representation of power levels according to feathers.
I'll agree with 2. Although it is a gorgeous looking card. I could see it having collector value just for that.
This does look
What if
pretty
it-
though.
What if it's the Royal Rare though?
We already have a Discord Royal Rare, so I doubt it.
I hope
That's
not.
fair.
Make my card the royal rare. Jeez, come on, Interplay.
Of course.
Card is the
It's gonna
royal
be
rare.
it's gonna be Catajack. It's got to be Catajack.
I hope it's
That'd be
Jack.
nice and also horrible.
What if we get a Royal Rare main Thorax?
No, please no.
Yes.
No, please.
That would be awkward.
Please no. Hi, I'm playing Fluttershy Friend to Animals. Hi, I'm playing Thorax. Hi, I'm playing more expensive Thorax. And then
And
she
then-
comes in, with his "Hi, I'm incredibly rare"
I'm
promo,
incredibly-
and then he clearly wins that fight.
Yeah, I think he wins that fight.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on here.
We've got one last card
we
before
don't.
Glimmer.
Nope. Since we
Yeah,
now know
sure.
what Redeem does, we are going to take a revisit to Starlight Glimmer taking
Okay.
charge.
We're doing Glimmer now. Okay, that's fine.
What about didn't we have a Trixie?
We're doing
Yeah.
Glimmer now.
Oh,
Because
okay,
of
Glimmer
Redeem.
now.
Leo,
Whoever's taking
Yep.
charge.
We have,
Glimmer.
we have a resource with Trixie, but
Okay, Glimmer, let's go.
all right,
So
so
8 cost.
8 cost, me
Yeah.
5 in some cases. Starlight has a bunch of troublemakers too. Fancy. All right, still 5 power, still 4 cost. Okay, so now that we actually know what Redeem does, This
5 is still a lot.
So the interesting thing here is I don't think the redeem part is relevant. I think the fact that Discord exists is more relevant than knowing what redeem does here.
Because you
Completely.
can play Discord off of Glimmer.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, Discord is absolutely, or I'm sorry, Starlight Glimmer is absolutely still 100% just a reanimation target. You're either going to bring this back with redeeming qualities or some other type of effect, which is really just redeeming qualities at this point in time.
Can I talk? This was my thought earlier.
Go for it.
The beautiful thing about Glimmer is she allows us to play friends during the start phase. Because it happens, right after we get our AT,
Right.
we ready our friends, and then we get to put a friend in play. Not too many. We do that with Hasty, but not for the discount that she offers. Yes.
Okay.
And my thought about this the first thing I thought of when I saw Discord was the pile combo. Having Starlight in there, and then finally, like, the price of Discord doesn't matter because it goes into play and it nails those pesky DJs before the main phase goes off.
I hate to break it to you.
They won't?
It will never happen because DJ is just going to food fight your Glimmer first.
I was just going to say the problem with this is that, like, you have to play it and then she has to stay there for, like, a whole turn until you can do something again, and I'm like, no one's gonna let that sit there.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with this. It's that it's such a high investment. You have to pay at best 5 AT and some card that's on the board.
At best, redeeming qualities.
Oh yeah, sorry. At best,
Yeah.
redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
And then somehow it's gonna have to survive through an entire opponent's turn, which means they have so many options to get rid of it because it's also 5 power. So you got food fight, you got all kinds of banishing things. You got so many answers to this. It's not going to survive a turn in most games.
Plus, she's unique, so you can't even put like 3 somehow at the same time and be like, well, what are you going to do now? Because you can't do that. So
No, the trick is to redeem her, then frighten her, then play identity theft, then unfrighten her, and now you're fine.
Well, that is a roundabout way of doing that, but I guess it works.
And then she's going to eat a
you're
pumpkin.
only paying the 8 you were trying not to play in the first place.
So
Nice.
allow me to present a potential defensive position to run with Starlight Glimmer, where you're running this as just end game value. I'm going to drop big bombs, and you reanimate Starlight Glimmer with redeeming qualities, which means you're already playing white, which means you use Wake Up Call as defense for her for a turn.
Sure, you use Wake Up Call. You could also use Spike Main, Orange Spike Main.
Sure. Also viable.
But then
And
you
we
have to
already
use
know
Spike.
Orange White likes Reanimator because of Hoity Toity.
Yeah, that's true.
And this brings up a good point that you would have to be using Spike.
It just means that she's going to eat 2
Spike?
pumpkins instead of 1.
Fine.
Sure. They blew 2 pumpkins.
Just because I think I'll retire my Starlight Glimmer taking charge to trigger redeemed for my next Starlight Glimmer taking charge.
Or you could, if you don't want to use Spike, use Appaloosa.
I mean, sure. Appaloosa also works.
But yeah, I do believe she's going to still see exactly 0 play outside of Reanimator. Exactly 0.
Yeah, Redeem does not help her.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, unfortunately.
our
So-
ratings were something akin to it's either a 2 or a 5 with
No,
this.
it's either a 0 or a 5.
This is not a 0. This is not a 0. There's no way this is a 0.
She
It-
actively harms your deck unless you have
She is
Reanimator.
she
I'm
is
going to
a
have to
5
disagree with that.
She looks
She-
pretty though. Just let her be pretty. Style points, those count.
Style points do count. True story.
Yeah, this is why I have a I can't even remember the name anymore. Rainbow Dash Sonic Boom in my trade binder, like on first page, because it's so pretty.
No, this
Terrible
is
card.
a 1 maybe.
I give it a 1.5 because it maybe will have some niche somewhere.
Yeah.
And do also keep in mind she doesn't get around Wreck, and that's super sad.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, but the big stuff you're going to be dropping is likely going to be within those colors anyway.
Although the one fun thing about this is
Princess Twilight Sparkle.
without
Games
paying its
Festival.
cost does mean some of those random cards that are like additional costs. Although most of the time you
Yes.
probably want those.
Yeah, you can in fact get around additional costs.
Angry corns.
Chaotic Sparks, I do not believe this card would be good in draft, because in draft you can't guarantee you're going to have anything to get value out of Starlight Glimmer, even if she manages to stick around on the field.
Plus, banking till you have 8 AT? Ugh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I feel like the only viable solution is that if you somehow got Starlight Glimmer and also a bunch of Starlight Troublemakers, then maybe. But
Maybe if you got Starlight Glimmer and Sweetie Belle and Redeeming Qualities.
I mean,
That's a question I have
And,
right
and
there.
then you just mill your own Starlight Glimmer to redeem her.
what's the question?
Pocket just said to have multiple troublemakers. Can redeemed happen? Like
No.
redeeming
It
two
is once.
troublemakers at
No.
once? It's just
It is
once.
a,
Okay.
It is a trigger, which means you
Okay.
can only respond to each triggering condition
I
once.
thought it wasn't
Yeah.
a trigger. I thought it was a
Or
replacement modifier.
Yeah.
It
is it an as?
is as an additional cost to play this card, you may retire a friend or troublemaker with the
Oh.
same title.
Okay, a friend or troublemaker.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
one.
the
Singular.
reason I said multiple Trollmakers is because we were talking in a draft scenario where you would also have to have the Starlight Glimmer Trollmaker there. So just having one Starlight Glimmer Trollmaker and Starlight Glimmer in your deck would not make this even feasible, really,
Gotcha.
at all.
No.
That makes sense. Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Now, that being said, this is totally going in Starlight Glimmer Villain Challenge.
Yeah.
This is 100% going in Starlight Glimmer Villain Challenge.
She's still gonna eat a pumpkin. Like,
Sure, that's fine. She can eat a pumpkin.
Villain Challenge can get away with things like that easier than other things, yeah.
well, it can try. King Sombra. Yeah.
King Sombra.
It's King Salva tried its best.
King
Yeah.
Tried
Sombra
its
tried.
best.
He
It
got-
sucked. Fix
he
it.
tried-
Make it better.
He tried so hard.
King
and got
Sombra
so
went
far.
from hard mode to easy mode.
It was really easy. Please make
But-
him.
But speaking
Better.
of King Sombra, we might have some more information about him later. Anyway,
Oh,
But
alright.
in the meantime, we have
one last
a
card.
card with a long name.
The final card of this spoiler review, Trixie's Equestrian Apology Tour, also featuring Starlight. So, what do we have here? We've got a 3 power, 1 cost, 2 white resource. It's an asset, in case that matters, because people do care. Play to your home. At the end of each opponent's turn, if no problems are confronted this turn, you may distribute 2 +1 power counters on up to 2 of your friends. There is already errata on this.
Yes.
So,
This card is weird.
so if no problems were confronted this turn, 2 +1 power counters. Hey, you know what,
I
friend?
like that.
I know a lot of things that like that. Those go on mains too. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But this
Uh,
says
No, it says
This
up
says
to
friend.
This says
friends.
friend.
Oh, it
Oh,
does
it's
say
your
friends.
friends. Never
Darn.
mind. It's fine.
Sorry,
fine.
feathers.
No. It's fine. I have 2 friends in my deck.
Okay, all 2 of
Are they
them.
both
I
Catjack
have
now?
2 friends in life.
Wow.
Pinky has a good question.
Oh,
Are they
wow.
both Captain Jack? They could
Maybe.
be in the future.
I mean, I would not be surprised to see Catjack in that. These could
So-
go on Thunderlane.
they
go on.
could.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This is
so
slightly
Rob
more.
wanted to.
This is slightly more difficult because no problems were confronted this turn. So this is approximately equivalent to a photo finish, for example. Except instead of getting a point, you get +1 power counters.
Mhm.
This is interesting. White.
It's combo with blackmail.
Yeah.
When you're getting points and power counters, how can you go wrong?
Yeah, just play play 3 copies of this, have a blackmail on the field, and have 3 photo finishes on the field. Easy.
4.
Oh yeah, because you can copy it.
Actually, let's just get 15 photo finishes out, and just go. If at any point you do not confront, you lose.
I have a question.
Yes.
DQ'd.
15
DQ.
is fine. You just gotta
Just clone it.
dip in the pool. Then.
Yeah, like why can't we have 15?
15 photo finishes. 15 actual copies of photo finish. You're DQ'd.
No.
Get out.
Hey, what if
Um,
this is Nightmare without any deck restrictions?
Nightmare has deck restrictions.
Nightmare still has deck restrictions.
I
Otherwise,
said
decks.
Nightmare without any deck restrictions.
No.
Explicitly.
No,
What?
because
So you mean the game where we play 15 copies of Fluttershy Guidance Counselor, 15 Royal Guidance, and I don't even know what the rest of the deck is.
What does it
That's all
matter?
you
Split
need.
between
Yeah,
those.
why would you need anything else? That's all you have.
That's all you
No,
need.
you don't even run Royal Guidance. Royal Guidance is for scrubs. You run Red Heart.
Oh right, sorry.
That's
I
true.
forgot about that.
Yeah, 15 red hearts and 22 red hearts and 23 guidance counselors.
Easy.
Easy.
And then your opponent runs Pinkie Pie every pony's PFF in the new Discord, and then you cry a lot. Except
They don't have
never
the AT
yeah,
for
they
that.
don't have the AT for that.
Yeah, they're not gonna ever have AT for that.
Anyway,
Okay, we're terrible
so-
people.
Well, one thing I wanted to bring up about this is Princess Rob mentioned that yes, this is not Trixie's official title for her tour. It's supposed to
It's
be
a working title.
It's supposed
It's
to
not
be
gonna
the
fit.
humble and penitent Trixie's Equestrian Apology Tour, but it did not fit
That
in
doesn't.
the box.
No, it doesn't.
So I think this is the longest non-character. I think this is the longest resource name in the game right now.
This has got to be up there. Although isn't there a Princess Twilight friend that's got an incredibly
This is why I
long
said
title?
resource. Well, yeah, Princess Twilight Sparkle Ambassador of Friendship is currently the longest title in the game, or longest name in the game.
Character-wise.
For title, this Trixie's Equestrian Apology Tour is definitely longer, since resources don't have subtitles.
Right.
Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to bring up is Cursed Chords brought up that there is a friend who really likes this card, and it is Joe Con Main. Anyone remember what Joe does?
Yeah.
Of course
Anyone?
not.
Sticky Joe?
Yes.
Joe
No.
Blaze?
No, not Sticky
Con
Joe.
Main, mono white.
The Joe that says
Ooh, Con Main, yes.
opponents can't move characters with power less than or equal to this card's power to this card's problem.
Yes.
So make it so that they can't confront problems. Then you put power counters on Joe, which makes it harder for them to confront problems.
But then you have to run Joe.
Then you have to run Joe.
Yeah, there's a slight problem there.
Well, the same thing can be for the Dazzling Jacket or whatever, but
I mean, there's lots of ways to put +1 or get power on friends now. This is
No.
going to be the more interesting when you're dealing with things that can spend those +1 power counters. Hey, let's run orange white and start dumping power counters on double diamond. Hey, let's run
or
Pink
white
Oh
blue.
goodness, on double diamond.
Or-
You don't even have to put them on double diamond. You just need to put them on
Oh,
a
that's
friend
true.
with double
Right.
diamond.
Okay, so all right, fine. Let's run blue, orange, white, and run Thunderlane and double diamond. Does this sound stupid yet? This sounds
it
stupid.
does sound stupid.
It's
Okay,
fine.
yeah.
Anything is possible with Singing Barrel.
Yes.
all you need.
As pointed out in chat, this is not unique. So +6 +1 power counter tokens. Yeah.
That's how I play.
When can we copy resources that aren't imaginary friends?
Well, I mean, you've got Trixie right here. Teacup.
Teacup,
Teacup.
teacup,
Teacup.
teacup.
Teacup isn't a meme.
Also, this is it's not a play mat. It's a 3D poster
yes,
that
this
Pixel
was-
Kitties made.
a 3D poster that Interplay has been selling for the past 6
Yeah.
months, I think.
But Pixel Kitties did the art.
Yes. Pixel Kitties, of course, is a returning contender on the not quite fan art, card art, but
Did she do Nightmare Star?
I believe she did, yes. And Heart's Desire and Taco Tuesday and
Poetry Slam.
Poetry Slam. I'm sure there's others.
There's at least one in every set.
Yes. Pixel Kitties is a good artist. She does very high quality work that's nearly
Rock, paper, scissors,
indistinguishable
shoot.
from
How
the
could we
show.
forget that one? That one's the best.
No, it's not. Taco Tuesday's the best.
Oh,
Yeah, Taco Tuesday is pretty good.
I will fight you over this.
I love rock, paper, scissors, shoot. It features literally the only two ponies who would play rock, paper, scissors.
This is fair, but the problem
I think
is
the story is better.
all right, Fox only final destination, no items. Let's go.
Nah.
Okay.
Bring it.
Let's go. We should just stream that instead.
So anything else we want to talk about any of these cards?
Well, we should probably give this a rating.
Oh, I guess we should
Probably
give this a
should give
rating.
this a rating.
Probably should.
I'd honestly give this like a 2, maybe 2.5. It's all right, but it doesn't really have that much ability. Its ability is not great, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's definitely no place for it right now with the decks that we currently know of, but there might be decks that want this in the future.
I bet there's something fun you can do with this in Constructed, but no, this feels like a pretty solid 2.
Dude, just like give us team draft thing, whatever again, and then put me and Pages and Pinky, and then we'll come up with something ridiculous that puts power counters on like 70 snakes.
Yeah,
That'd be
you'll
great.
get 7 of these.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
fine.
we'll somehow get 7 of them.
We'll get more. It's
Well,
common.
keep in mind the next team sealed should be 4 of everything, so
Oh, well. I'll
assuming
just
we
get
hold
4 of
on
them
to
instead.
Yeah,
that
we
much
can work
EO.
with that. We
We
can
do
work
know
with
that
that.
there is Team Sealed at Gen Con this year, and I am so excited.
Oh, do we?
What about
Yes.
BronyCon? What about if I'm not going to Gen Con?
I assumed we'd have Team Sealed at BronyCon.
Alright.
We don't know what's going on at BronyCon yet. No schedules announced.
Yes, that's actually the really funny thing here is in this. This is funny in a villains deck, a villain challenge villains deck, because it's got 3 opponents.
Yep.
But it's 1 turn.
Yeah, so I feel it would
That's
only
true.
trigger once, wouldn't it? 'Cause-
Yeah, if they all
Uh-huh.
take their turns simultaneously.
Interplay,
then-
please.
I mean, you could change it if you want. You invented it.
Yeah, it's not,
At
it's
the
not
end
like you're
of each
really
opponent's
restrained by
turn,
any
for
rules.
each opponent that had a turn this turn,
Oh my god.
No.
Just
No.
make it
Look,
as
we-
obscure as possible.
We already have to deal with Wild Manticore errata issues, or at least I do.
Wild Manticore?
Yeah. The fact that its actual use in pipsqueak farming only functions if you use the OCR because its text actually says the exact opposite on the printed versions.
Nice.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
It's a weird one. Anyway, yeah, a 2 from me.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2. T is for Trixie, T is for 2.
T is also
T
teacup.
is for teacup.
T is for teacup.
Teacup.
And T is for snack.
Unfortunately, there is no snack in T.
Not yet.
There is, in fact, no
Yeah,
snack in
whatever.
T.
You're
You're not
I
being
agree.
creative enough.
I was saying it, but I was like, I don't know how to salvage this, so I just went with it.
All right. Well, there you go. The create a card for Gen Con 2017 is just teacup.
You forgot it. Why does it say cost? It should say teacup. Why does it say resource?
Yeah,
Place
that
this.
was my.
Like
Yeah.
my
This card
my
needs to-
major complaint is that it doesn't flip for T power.
Oh,
Oh, all right, Cat. Got some major issues with this card right here.
We need to send this back, do we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so is it time to talk about Everfree?
I think it's time to talk
All
about
right.
Everfree.
So Everfree was
the
fun.
thing.
All right, we're done. We talked about
We
Everfree.
talked about
Good job,
Everfree.
guys.
well, I'm gonna stay out of this one. I'm jealous. It sounds amazing.
Everfree is always
Just
good for
talk about
CCG.
Babs as though it was Everfree, and all of our memories are incorrect, and you're the only
And they're all
one
relevant.
who has the correct memory.
There you go. That'll be entertaining.
It will be entertaining.
I mean, it was a good time, and it was interesting to see, even in a rather tight space, we had a great showing for most of the events, several of which came very close or did, in fact, hit cap.
Yeah, Team Sealed hit cap. That was great.
Team Sealed hit cap, and there were people still wanting to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commentary's Magic could not play.
Rip.
So
Did you
congratulations
say
for
wrecked?
No, I said rip.
Oh, I thought you said
Either-
wrecked.
I
either
should've
works.
said that.
Both work.
That's a great
So-
sign, though.
So do we want to go down the line and get one highlight from everybody?
Sure. Do we
Oh,
want to do
Um,
what order?
We'll go with
You go
announce.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do sound off order. How's that?
Sure.
Okay. Feathers, you're after Ponka.
Oh, okay.
So my highlight of Everfree was probably seeing the changes that I had implemented with Cheese to pie eating contest drive it to success, and not just in terms of overall in the tournament, but just the matchup that it had against so many decks that were packing so many answers to discard piles like Destiny Drain and Magical Misfire, and seeing the impact that Snips and Snails, Problem Solvers, and even more Nightmare Moon Deep Darkness have. I've always thought that metas are kind of cyclical, especially in ponies where the card pool is relatively small. So we don't have multiple answers to the same type of situation for everything. And so seeing Deep Darkness be incredibly popular in Gen Con 2015 when you were either running Vinyl or you were running Mod, and then fall out of favor, and then Vinyl start coming back, and then Deep Darkness start coming back, it's pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
So that was probably my favorite part, was seeing signs of a return to some familiar counterplay options, and I really like that.
So my favorite part was absolutely the final match in Harmony. I may have lost that game, but it was hilarious. Oh, Nightmare Moon won that game quite handily.
Yeah, Nightmare Moon was the true winner.
Can you give us a quick summary so we understand what's so hilarious?
So it was Cheese running pie eating contest, and I was running Vinyl's Bag of Tricks again, and Cheese was running the aforementioned tech that Grandpa's implemented into the deck, and so I, in my Vinyl's Bag of Tricks gameplay against a pie eating contest is play a Nightmare Moon, draw Destiny Drain, get rid of their win con. However, while I did successfully play Nightmare Moon turn 1, so did Cheese. Only he played a different Nightmare Moon. He played Deep Darkness, which meant neither of our Vinyls flipped. I only drew 1 card that turn. Well, I did draw 2, but one of them was discarded immediately. And I no longer had the ability to play any cards in my deck unless I banish a Zecora. And when I did banish a Zecora, he played a Soprano, and I was very sad.
And then you were the sads.
Yes. So because it became I cannot do anything, because Cheese is a teammate, I was being playfully spiteful. He was going through the Soprano loop, and I was. I don't think I played I banished 2 Zecoras. No, those were the only cards I played. That and the 1 Nightmare Moon. It was pretty funny.
Did you actually? I thought you only banished 1 and you discarded the
I
other.
banished 1. Well, I banished the other one when he was Sopranoing off because I had the opportunity to.
And you're just like, why not?
I mean, I had the priority window.
I mean, that's true. Did you mention how Cheese and you each discovered the fact that Vinyl can flip on your opponent's turn? As I sat there with a vein.
I mean, I knew Vinyl could flip on opponents' turns. I just forgot because I knew I would lost. I had forgotten. Oh yeah, this was going to be the third card I drew this turn. Whatever.
That was pretty good. Just watching Grandpa sit there and just seething.
Yes.
You guys.
I was presenting. He would go Soprano you, and I'd go, reveal my card, and he'd go discard it, and do that over and over. And eventually he passed turn, and I had 21 action tokens that turn. And Grandpa's asked me, "Aren't you just going to concede?" And I'm like, "No, I have 22 actions I can take this turn."
And you did.
And I did. I drew 22 cards that I could not draw. The 22nd, of course, being from my Vinyl main.
Right, of course. It was a great time.
It was fun. I had won the previous con, so I wasn't too sad that I only got second this con, and that I lost to tech specifically designed to take out this.
To be fair, you also teched in Destiny Drain and Babs, so
yes, I teched in Destiny Drain specifically for pie eating contest. So it was, like you said, turnabout was fair play, and most importantly, I did not have to play combo 8 games in a row.
Hooray!
Yes, that was very very important to that day.
Are-
Yeah, well, let's move on. I had a great time at Everfree.
So I can't actually talk about the bit that I like the most for basically reasons that it'll piss everyone off. But the players who were there, I think, quite enjoyed the trinkets I made.
I know what you're talking about. I was thinking about for a bit.
I personally enjoyed the 9th place prize.
Yes,
It was absolutely amazing. They actually took it home too.
He took it home, yeah.
Yes, he did.
We have it. We have it here. It's at
Pages
Max's
did take
house.
it.
We did take it with us across the border. It's in
We-
Canada now.
Are you gonna bring it to BronyCon?
No,
No.
that'd be so expensive.
I know.
Mailing like a 50-pound block of salt to BronyCon? I don't think so. Buy a new
Spoilers.
one.
Spoilers.
So yeah, spoilers.
And no one did lick it, in case anyone is asking.
Hey, you just got tempted to.
They did actually lick the block of salt, so
Did they?
Wait, when did this happen?
yes.
I don't know. I missed it.
Ugh. Floor salt, shoe salt.
Yeah,
Did they give us any? No, we didn't. We didn't mention it. at
Okay,
customs.
so just for stream's sake, what happened here is last year at BronyCon, the last place prize was a literal brick, just a gray, like 10-pound masonry brick, which I was so enthralled with that I was like, can I take this back home, please? And I did, and Customs didn't ask a single word about it. And if you go look at the BronyCon post from last year, you'll see a picture of the actual winner of that. However, I just can't leave this alone, so I took the thing, and that was with a piece of tape and some hastily ball-penned writing. Everfree 2017 over BronyCon 2016 was the last place prize.
It was pretty great.
Yes.
The person who won that was very, very pleased to get it.
Yes,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is a Seattle local, and she was just ecstatic to get that. It was pretty good. The 9th place prize, however, was the real one, which was a 50-pound block of salt for farm animals.
Like horses, for example.
Yes, like
Cows.
horses. Or cows.
It was even better considering the circumstances of how Pages got 9th place, because he was the only person in the 3-2 bracket who got 9th place.
the
who
only
got
one.
out of top 8.
Yeah, the reason that happened was because he forgot to put his Destiny Drain and Magical Misfire in his deck.
He to be clear about that, his deck list was correct. He just completely forgot entirely to integrate it into either his deck
Right.
or the
Or the
list
deck
of
list,
cards,
yeah.
right? And yeah, it was really funny because I sat
Yeah.
next to him in the last round, and I was like, "Win or lose, I bet you're gonna get 9th place." And he won his game and got 9th place.
There you go.
Yeah,
That was great.
and he found out about that because he was trying to gyro for it,
It's
and
like, where is
it
it?
wasn't there.
I can't find it. Where is it? I know I put this. Oh, crap.
Oops.
Wah, wah.
So, yes, that was my Everfree moment, is giving away a 50-pound block of salt.
And also the salt shakers, the necklaces.
Yes, those are the best.
I
Planning
actually
on bringing them to Magic tournaments.
I filled mine up last night and used it playing board games.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah. So next up is Bonka, since
Is he, or-
Leo did not go.
Wait, did Grandpa's already go? I thought he was.
Yeah,
before.
he went first.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I-
Don't mind me.
I could share my experience. Was seeing the print. Who shared the
Did you watch
deck
the
list?
Oh, okay.
I watched a few streams. I did.
Okay.
But when the deck lists were posted, I don't remember where I saw them, but the 2 deck lists for Zippo were posted, and they were hilarious. Like-
Oh yeah, we should share those.
Yeah, those were
Oh,
amazing.
those. Yes.
My highlight. To continue, Bonka.
Can we get that on stream somehow?
Yeah. Can we get that on stream? Anyways, in the meantime, what I enjoyed the most at Everfree can be summarized with one word: Snick.
Snake.
Snack?
So in Team Sealed, me and Feathers, and Pages, we had a team called, what was it? Nico Winpanas featuring special guest Honk. Is that
Oh
right?
yeah, because you didn't want to be Rin.
Well, I could have been Rin. Yudishin, yeah.
Nerd.
Okay,
Anyways,
tell the story.
so we were drafting, and we was like, oh, this is a lot of yellow cards. This is a lot of credit cards. And we keep seeing Industrial Revolution pop up over and over again. It's like, wait, how many of these are actually in here? We counted them. There's 5 of them in there. It was like, all right, it's snack time again.
Someone has to play yellow at that point.
Yep. And so we had a bunch of also really good orange cards. So the other 2 decks are running orange. We also had a bunch of blue cards when we did that. So we run blue as well. So I was the only person not running orange because, orange, and I'm like allergic to orange. And so game 1, things are going pretty much as normal limited games go. And then eventually I get to the point where I have a ridiculous amount of Industrial Revolutions in hand, in particular 4 of them. So I just saved a few action tokens and then played the ball. And well, let me post it for what the picture looks like.
Hold on, I'm working on it. I had
Okay.
a computer issue there where my keyboard decided to quit doing anything.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
So basically,
That was so dumb. You had a T-Rex Reign of Terror in your hand too.
yeah, I was like, but why would I play this? Because
Yeah.
it could be.
It's so funny.
So
Did you have the AT to play it? Because then
I
you
did.
could have made more snacks.
was it actually in hand? I'm not sure if it was in hand at that point.
Yeah, you showed me your hand,
Yeah.
and you had all of your dilemmas in your hand at the same time.
Oh, nice.
All 6?
No, one of them was in the discard pile
Oh,
because I played it earlier to do
Yeah,
to
you had-
triple
you,
face off.
you had all the remaining ones.
Yeah,
after
you
that.
had 4 industrial. Like, how many of them had troublemakers on them?
2.
Oh yeah, so that's another thing. So I was playing against Troublemaker Control and Limited, which normally would work really well against a lot of limited decks, but since I can just keep dropping dilemmas
Yeah.
whenever I feel like, they don't really work against me. And his entire deck was built around Troublemaker Control with the new Twilight main that you can pay 1 to give Troublemaker +2 power.
Yes.
Or -2.
Or
Okay,
minus
so
2.
stream, check this thing out. Isn't this amazing?
Snack.
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 Do you
Oh,
actually
snack.
know how many snacks are on this? Like, it's at least 100.
I never bothered to count. But yeah.
I hate
about
looking at this with my eyes.
Hey, you drew that, Snack.
I drew the only good part of this.
It was
Hey.
really. Oh wow! Shots fired.
Oh,
Ouch.
And
Feathers. Someone is asking if Antisocial Applejack is still top tier. You want to
Oh,
talk
that's
about?
too bad. Just ignore him.
Oh wow!
ouch.
Wow.
But anyway, Ponko, you forgot the best part about your snacks. That face-off.
Oh, right. So, yeah, I was getting to that. So we went into the face-off. I was like, okay, I've got like 90-some power. He actually played 1 card that gave -1 power to all of my characters.
Through time.
That was kind of annoying.
Or through the ages, yeah.
But I
gave-
still had like 40 power to his like
it wasn't.
5.
He gave you -45 power, and it wasn't even half of your power.
Yep. So then we went to the face-off and flips. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So then I flipped Sea Breeze, which has the chaos effect of give an imposing character -1 power for each of your characters involved in the face-off, or something along those lines. So that turns out to be like -40-some power.
Yeah, it was 45. Yeah.
45.
So you chose their main -42 power Twilight. So sad.
Rip. So yeah, that was my summary. Somehow, no matter what the format is, I will still somehow find a way to play Snook.
As well.
he had to borrow tokens from 2 other people.
Oh, he also had Zipper Will. There was a Zipper Will in there.
Yeah, but it wasn't the
Yeah.
Zipper Roll.
Yeah, but it,
It was
was
the
a
Critter
Zipper
Zipper
Will.
Will.
It was
So I
a
post-
single one.
The home limit one.
For the people curious of what the image looks like, I posted
Pet
it
collector.
in Twitch chat. You can see exactly what we were talking about.
oh my god.
He had squirrels and Planes. And
Yeah, so I only had
Snakes.
9 snack tokens, so I knew this was going to happen, so I bought some planes, put snacks on a plane, but then I ran out of planes as well, so I had to borrow squirrels.
It was good times.
It's fun.
Team Sealed is silly things.
Team Sealed is the best.
Team Seal is awesome. Feathers, what about you? What was your favorite moment of Everfree?
Team Sealed. My story
Team-
would be the same as like Pinky's story.
Team Sealed, more like meme sealed.
Yeah,
Didn't
teamwork
you
makes
have,
the
like,
meme work.
3 factory jacks?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we
I
did.
had like 3 factory jacks and like 2 limestone pies, and it basically went exactly as you imagined it would have gone. It was,
No.
I don't know, it was kind of scary actually, because each member of our team lost once. Like, we took turns losing, and in the last round, I was like, all right, my game's in the bag. We were like 5 turns in or something, and then Pinky gets, what happened? Which problem was it that flipped? I forget what it's called. The one where you name a card and your opponent has to discard.
Yeah,
Sound
he
like you.
discarded 3 by Industrial Revolutions.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so he lost all his dilemmas, and he was like, yeah, so actually I can't win. And I was like, uh-oh. So I turned to Pages, and I was like, what about you? And he's like, it's not looking so good.
Oh no.
So, but here I am, like, 5 turns in, I'm like, well, I'm gonna win. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? And eventually, Pages managed to win, like, 15-14,
Okay.
and I had already won my game.
Oh, that
but-
was... Yeah, that was a real buzzer beater there, because the team that you were playing against at the very end had a sweep record up until that point.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, man.
That was
Yeah,
the
they were like
Seattle.
undefeated, right?
Yes, they were
Yeah.
undefeated. So that
It
was
was
the...
like, as soon as you put the snack deck on stream, it just like doesn't work anymore. We couldn't show
Right.
anyone.
Right,
You
snakes don't like being in the limelight. They go and they hide in their little holes.
Oh, they're reptiles.
Yeah.
They should like
Makes
the light.
sense. You should have put it in round 1, that we could have had that shenanigan on stream.
I so wish we could have had that on stream. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah, that would have been a great one to have on stream. But yeah, I remember looking over at one of Feather's games, and she had Applejack main, a growing up Applejack, and 2 factory jacks in play. And I'm like, you can play cards that aren't named Applejack, right?
No, of course not.
Feathers, can you confirm or deny this?
I don't know.
She can play King Sombra.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's bad, but yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll just continue playing Applejack cards forever. I don't know how anything else works. I don't know how to confront problems.
That's kind of overrated anyways.
Yeah, it was actually really weird for me playing like any other event this weekend, because I did have to confront problems, and I was like, I have not done this in so long, because I've been playing the same deck for like 2 years or something. I don't know.
Someone needs to refresh themselves on the last arc of last part of Combo Uchura. Confront
Nah.
from time to time.
Nah.
Nah, I don't need to do that. My deck will be the exact same at like BronyCon. If you play me there, just look at my deck list from Everfree, you'll be fine.
Brink card.
Are you going to keep the
boxes.
3 Destiny Drains?
I don't know. Are you going to BronyCon?
Maybe.
Is Big Cheese going to BronyCon?
Of course.
He is definitely. He's
Then
going
yes.
to 3 cons.
Anyway, we
in 3
should,
weeks.
So, to sum up, teamwork makes the dream work. Alright, teamwork
I-
makes the meme work.
I could not have phrased that any better.
Meme work makes the meme work.
Anyway.
Sure. Yeah, Everfree was a great time.
Everfree was fun.
And
Sorry for all those of you who couldn't make it, but maybe next year.
And again, a huge, huge thank you to Cursed Chords for providing live commentary for all 3 of the Harmony events that we had there: the practice, the Swiss rounds, and the top 8. That was really, really cool. And he did an excellent job. So thank you, Cursed, from everyone in Commentary is Magic. And probably the community as well.
Yes, thank you very much.
No, we're not. We're not kind enough. You're going
True
to take
story.
our kindness and like it.
You're going to like it!
We got plenty of love.
As Fluttershy would say, you will love me.
Yes.
You're going to love me. No.
You're going to love Cursed Chords. Now, one of the cool things that we did get to do at Everfree, which will soon be available to everyone, is to highlight the villain challenge for King Sombra, and we had shown this a bit beforehand, not in its entirety, but pretty close. And we had a chance to run a couple sessions while we were there as well. So within the next day or so, on the MLP CCG subreddit, you will all be able to find a document with the images for the King Sombra Villain Challenge that you can run with your own local group. And it will also include a link to the rules document and possibly a summary of the differences between Nightmare Moon and King Sombra if you've had the chance to play one but not the other.
Along with all of our delicious high-resolution art, suitable in a form for printing, either yourself or at a local copy center.
Well, hey, there you go. Conveniently prepared.
Did we get a spoiler? Can we help? Can we do a thing?
You already got your spoiler. It's the teacup.
Oh my god. That's the worst. That was not King Sombra.
It was not King Sombra.
Wow.
There are probably not any King Sombras in this set, if I were to guess.
He's probably never going to get a card again.
He's
Hey,
worst. You saw where the husbando sign went.
never. Yes. Nah, we don't talk about that. Never give up hope. Rainbow Shine got a new card.
Yeah, he might show up again. I mean, for all you know, he might come back in another season.
And actually say more than 3 words.
Crystals.
It's fine. He's just quiet.
I don't know. He was kind of loud.
Crystals.
Well, he only needs 1 word, so
Teacup.
Love.
sure. He just needs teacup.
Sure.
Do you know what King Sombra needs?
A teacup. Well, we've covered the cards that were spoiled over the last couple of weeks, and we've also given our summaries of our times at Everfree, which were obviously a lot of fun. We've mentioned that King Sombra Villain Challenge documents will be available very soon here. Yes, Snake. And I think there's one more thing that we would just like to highlight that will be coming up here soon in the future. Bugle, do you want to talk a little bit about this theoretical stream we have planned?
Yeah, we mentioned it. I don't know if it was last time or the time before, but you know, we're all aware Marks in Time has lasted a long time. It's been a long meta, but it's also been a very diverse meta, and we've seen loads and loads of powerful decks spring up over the past year. Not just Gen Con decks, but you know, throughout the entire year. And I thought it would be a fun idea and to just go over a lot of those decks. We have a list somewhere with a large number of decks that have done well this past year, and we're going to try and go over as many of them as we can. So
a Marks in Time meta reflections?
Yes. Yeah, Marks in Time meta reflections. That's a good name for it until we can think of...
It's a working title.
Yeah, it's a working title.
It's a working title.
It'll be a good time, though.
Yeah. But yeah, ideally we'd get it out before Defenders comes out, but it might show up a little bit after Defenders because, you know, we all do have lives outside of pony cards.
Some of our lives involve traveling at inopportune times.
Big Chase.
Hint, hint, absent person.
Wow, I thought you were talking about me, but then it became obvious.
No, you just ignore us.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so yeah, I think that will be a good time, and as soon as we know actual details, we'll post in all of the regular places: Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. Probably not a signed letter in your house. Probably
delivered by Owl.
Delivered by Owl, of course. Yeah,
but not on Sunday. You know why?
We're going down
because
owls don't like the sun.
Fly on Sunday.
No post on Sunday. Oh, that was an audible whoosh.
No, I heard it. I was just refusing to play along because.
Anyway. But it will be a good time. We will have more information posted. Of course, if you are looking for any information about our upcoming streams, events, discussions, or tournaments, you may find that information on the MLPCCG subreddit. You can also follow us on Twitter, and you can also like us and follow us on Facebook as well. We will post all the information in the sidebar here for you. And of course, if you have your own thoughts on the stream, comments, feedback, varying opinions, whatever it happens to be, we would love to hear from you. Please send us an email to commentaryismagicteam@gmail.com. We will definitely respond and be interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, are we completely wrong about one of these cards? Have you thought of a nice interaction that we completely overlooked? We would love to hear. And I guess there's also Fluttershy down there.
Yes, Fluttershy is still down there. If you enjoyed the events that we had at Everfree, being able to run those events and stream those events and have commentators for those events requires a lot of equipment, and that equipment is not free. So if you enjoy seeing some of the stuff, some of the content that we are able to produce and would like to help support us in our efforts, just click that Fluttershy button just below the stream. We appreciate any donation you are able to give.
Give Fluttershy a bit. Every bit helps.
With that, though, do we have any last-minute announcements or comments we would like to make?
Snack.
Snack.
Snack cup.
Teacup.
All
Please
right.
give us a poodle, teacup poodle.
Dear
We want
Princess
teacup
Rob,
poodle.
please give us a teacup poodle token.
Ooh, a token. I was thinking an actual end, but I think a token would be fun too.
No, it should.
I still couldn't use it because it's not a snack.
Just cut out the snack face and slap it on.
There you go.
Let's just stick some googly eyes on it.
And then you stick googly eyes on that, yes.
Nice.
All right. With that,
Yeah. Do we have any other major events? Nothing till BronyCon that I can think of. Well,
It's just BronyCon's next.
Pre-release, I guess.
Oh yeah.
That's a little thing called pre-release.
There's gonna be like 2. Like total. Like nowhere's having them. It's great.
Yeah. I guess we're done.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Again, we are Commentary is Magic. Specifically, I am Grandpa's.
I'm Emperor Bugle.
I am the somewhat incensed Aracat.
I am Living Silver.
I'm Pakapo.
And I'm going to continue to ignore commentary is magic until BronyCon again.
Oh, sad
Aw.
face.
But we need you to replace the absent cheese.
I don't want to replace cheese.
But you could like fly all over the place and
Then you would be the
Feather.
Everfree winner.
I mean,
You're
I'll
the
do
new big
that,
cheese.
but I
You're
don't
the
want to
new-
have to play combo.
you're the new
You're
big
the new
cheese.
Rainbow Dash.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.